this is the longest losing streak in more than a year, the beginning of the end?
Well, obviously, Bitcoin has had an incredible year. People have been, every few months or years, there's something else about China cracking down. Today, it seemed to gain new urgency after one of the major exchanges said it was going to halt trading at the end of the month. But obviously, Bitcoin had been falling even ahead of that sort of announcement.
What caused the turn in sentiment, Joe? Because it was flying high.
Yeah. Well, I mean, classically speaking, I think one of the reasons people were bullish on Bitcoin was that it could circumvent capital controls, which obviously makes China particularly anxious for a long time. And it's perhaps one of the reasons that people have bought Bitcoin in China. Though there are probably other reasons. So it's not really that surprising, perhaps, to see China take a more harsh stance towards it. Every marginal buyer and seller is going to affect the price. And so if there is a clamp down on the ease with which people in China can buy it, then you would expect that to hit the price.
Yeah, not surprising because we saw that boost in Bitcoin when we saw those tightening capital controls from China. But also, I have to wonder, though, about the supply side of cryptocurrencies, right? I mean, what is it? CoinCap saying that they track 800 cryptocurrencies. That's a lot.
Yeah, one of the classic signs of any kind of bubble is suddenly there's a massive increased supply. So you can think about all the IPOs that we saw in the 90s, everyone going public. When people want to buy something, the industry has a way of expanding supply. So, of course, there's a fixed supply of Bitcoiners themselves, just 21 million. That doesn't mean that all kinds of entities can't launch more coins to satisfy, or new kinds of coins to satisfy that enthusiasm. Obviously, a lot of attention in the last 6 or 12 months about initial coin offerings, entities, groups, companies launching their own crypto coins, so to speak. Another thing which in the last couple of weeks China has announced a crackdown on.
Jamie Dimon's comments were, much talked about in the news, even took away from some of the other comments that he made. But why did it take him until now to say this? Did he not think this 12 months ago?
I think there's probably a couple of things going on. Actually, I think he has said it, criticized it before, but I think a couple of things going on. There's a lot of, growing interest in institutions, Wall Street, about Bitcoin. So you get to the point where you kind of have to comment on it. There was a B of A survey this week. A lot of people calling Bitcoin a very crowded trade. So suddenly it's getting big enough that it's in the realm where finance people.
I mean, I get questions all the time, so it must be something